Well, this is a very different type of video today. There might be a bit of wind on it, I'm afraid. I'm just taking a stroll near Peacehaven today. I don't know how much you can see there of the landscape behind me. The purpose of this trip is I'm looking at a piece of land to rent, possibly. I don't think it's going to work. Excuse any wind that's buffering the microphone, I'm sorry about that. Peacehaven from Worthing is a hell of a long way. It's about an hour with a couple of places in which there are hold-ups. So I don't think this is going to work. But the gentleman who got in touch with me, who also has a piece of the land and does some interesting things, said it's certainly worth having a look at. So I wanted to have a look at it, just to start the inquiry, really, that process of looking for land. Even if this is not 100% right and it's not the sort of thing I want to do here, mainly because of the distance, and as yet I haven't seen it, so I don't know what the opportunities are, or indeed the restrictions, and I think that's part of what I need to find out. The first thing I've discovered is its location is on the hilly side of the South Downs here, just above Peacehaven. Now I can't give you the full location of it because the owner doesn't want that to be known, which is why I've parked my van a little distant from the area and I'm just going to walk up to it. Also, the roads are not ideal for going up and down in vehicles unless they're sort of heavy duty. My van would be all right, but I just don't want to do it. There is a van or a vehicle coming now. These are metalled roads, so it's all a little bit complicated. But the countryside is nicely spread out. Apparently there's Wi-Fi on the truck. There we go. Look. Gentleman waving at the camera as we go past. So there are houses and there are obviously plots of land, and I think that's what is being offered to me. But I do think it's going to be probably out of the question. Right, I'm hoping I can take some photographs of the actual plot without giving it too much away. You see, the thing is, I want to do more than just growing vegetables. I want it to be a set. I want to try out experiments. I want to look at the old way of farming. I want to grow some wheat and some barley. I want to use a scythe. I want to build a haystack. I'd love to dig a dew pond. And in the future, I wanted to build a small cutting like a canal and put an old disused canal boat on it. So I've got lots of ambitions for a piece of land, but I really am after about 3 to 5 acres would be perfect and fairly level. This is not going to be level, I don't think. So already I'm sensing this isn't ideal, but it's just worth going and starting that journey and having a look. It may be absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to go and have a look and we'll see what it is. I'll report back once I've met up with the people I've got here lined up to see. That's the view from my van at the moment, parked up here on the Falmer Road towards the A27 as I come back from my look at the land that was on offer. Fascinating and interesting place. I met the owner. I won't say the names of people because I've been asked to keep it sort of quite quiet at the moment. It's a lovely place, and the land itself is lovely. The ground looks, the soil looks absolutely fantastic, and that things will grow there. It's been mulched a few times as well. Sorry about the traffic noise of where I am. Beautiful view here on the South Downs, and as I say, it is up on the South Downs. I couldn't think of a nicer place to be, to work and to toil the land and to grow things. Terrific view, not too dissimilar from the view that I've got, looking down towards the sea as it has there. Absolutely fantastic, surrounded by trees. Few people in other plots locally. The biggest drawback for me is the distance. I knew that right from the beginning, that the distance was going to be a bit of a problem, that it was going to be probably too far from home. On a good day at the moment, it seems to be running at about 50 minutes. So it's just under an hour. That's there and then back. And yes, of course, you could stay in the van, if not on the site, there's no easy access. That's another issue, to get the van down there onto the site, bringing any tools, but you could use a wheelbarrow and things. So that is a problem. But I could stay, locally in the van, just in a side road or something. I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem. So that's the biggest headache, is just it from me. I mean, it's a great location and everything else is really nice. There's access to water, there's access to other people who would know and could possibly help with different bits and pieces, being left alone to get on and do what you do. Apparently the site is equivalent to 4 allotment plots. I think he said it was 1,600 yards or feet, 1,600. I know that, having been to Sean's plot, or his garden plot, that's hugely bigger. Up in London, I don't know what he pays, and he's got an allotment there for the same price now. I thought the land space was small, and far too small really for my optimum plan. I mean, I'm looking at, I suppose an acre minimum, but ideally 3 to 5 acres, because of the things I want to do. But that would be down the line. One's got to start somewhere. So I need to think about this. I'm not saying no at this stage. The chap whose land it is, very nice, very knowledgeable. He comes from farming stock. He knows his stuff. There was a nearby forge and a pottery and metal workshops nearby. Lots of people to have a great community and a friendship with. But the actual the land mass itself, although very, very reasonably priced, I feel is too small. And yes, I'd just be growing vegetables, but that's the snag. The vegetable bit is the lesser of what I want the land for. I've outlined before the sort of things that I want to do. So I'm at this stage, I'm not sure, but I am aware of those beginner steps. One should not discount everything and say don't, because you could do a year or two there and range up. Well, I'm back home and I've just been editing up the last bit that we've been looking at, and I've got a lot to think about, haven't I? Land round here is extremely expensive to buy. Most of the land round here, it seems, if you buy it, it's for people who've got horses and things like that, which then, I don't know why, but it seems to up the price, which is very irritating, as you can imagine. I don't want it for that purpose, just to graze. I want a whole load of different things, as I've outlined earlier on. But also, in time, it would be lovely to have some sheep. Even if I'm just renting a flock or allowing a flock to come in and eat the grass, and then taking advantage of the manure, that would be it would be great to sort of learn a little bit of shepherd skills, penning the flocks in and moving them over, letting them fertilise and around. I don't feel I can do that on a little parcel of land that's, you know, the footprint of a house. That's why I feel I need the acreage. Now, it may well be that I'll have to sell the house and go up north to where land is perhaps a bit cheaper. I don't know. I suppose really what I'm seeking, because I mean, that's a massive investment, isn't it? If one can find it, and I'd be away from everybody I know, and it would be a bit of a test, and I'd be on my own, and it would be tricky, but as long as I've got the internet, I could continue to make the videos. I'm hoping this isn't pie in the sky. I'm really passionate about wanting to do this. If only one can get access to that little bit of land. And when you think back in the old days, people had access to the land. They had land. It wasn't quite a right as such, but it was certainly a hell of a lot easier than it is today, it would seem. I want to put building, not permanent buildings, but shed structures, and build a set and a little, you know, perhaps have a shepherd's hut on there, which would be a sort of studio to record bits. You want some form of kitchen area so that you could cook and things in the day when it's raining, or the rain comes on, or it's very snowy. Somewhere where you can have a wood burning stove, somewhere that's got accessibility so you can either get trees or logs or store logs. You know, that we've had a storm damage here, and there's a lot of logs about. If you're prepared to offer services to chop them and grab them and then store them for 2 years. So a piece of land that you could do that. I can't at the moment see how I could do any of those things on the first piece of land that I've seen. And whilst everyone was nice, you know, you can't just, if it's not going to be right, there's no point doing it. Somebody else might benefit. They may only want to grow veg, they may be a bit more local, and I don't want to tread on anybody else's toes. Admittedly, my plans are a bit pie in the sky and a bit larger than life, and a bit, you know, but I'm in my mid to late 50s. I want to do this one chance. I haven't got 30 years of apprenticeship to do. I want to learn this as quickly as I can and experiment and chart it on YouTube and show the failures, of which I'm sure there's going to be loads. But as I said before, it's that thing about putting it out into the universe. If anybody believes in all of that, with the problems that we've got going on in the world, it doesn't look like the universe really listens to the nice people and what people want. It seems to listen to tyrants at the moment. But anyway, put it out into the universe and on YouTube. You know, the great thing about this is you just never know. There may be somebody watching here with a parcel of land who doesn't do anything with it, and would be happy for somebody to come a bit mad, to have a go for, say, 5 years and do some interesting old-fashioned scything, growing wheat, trying to build some form of windmill, milling flour, making bread, building dew ponds, all sorts of stuff that you just never know. And so I will still be looking, and it may be that I'm looking for the rest of this year, and that it's next year or the year after. I'm not going to rush into anything. But anyway, I thought I'd take you along and show you that I've started that process to actually look. Sorry this video hasn't been put together terribly well, and some of the shots are a bit crap, but it was a bit run and gun today. Thank you for watching. Keep tuning in, keep supporting the Bald Explorer, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.